So we're going to take a look at finding the surface area of solids. So surface area is the sum of all of the areas of all of its faces, right? So if you're thinking about like a box, right? A box from Amazon or something, the surface area would be the area covering the outside of that box. So the area of each of the faces all added together, that would be our surface area. So one of the helpful things that we can do to find surface area is to find a net of that figure. So a net is simply a two-dimensional representation of a solid. So you can see here, right, in this picture, we've kind of unfolded and flattened out our solid so that you can see a net. So we've got our blue has the two sides of that figure, the green representing the front and back, and the red representing the top and bottom. So once we do this, we can kind of visualize what this prism actually looks like, and then we can use that to help find our surface area. So for example, if we're looking at this figure here, we've got it's 4 inches wide, 7 inches long, and 3 inches high. So if we were to create our net, right, we can see that we've got this side length here is 4 inches. We have 7 inches, another 4 inches, 4 inches, 7 inches, and 3 inches. So we know, right, we could look at the side here. This side, we've got 4 inches. And then we know if this over here is 3 inches, then this here is also 3 inches. So the area of that side would be 4 times 3, which is 12 square inches. So side, we've got 12 square inches, and we have 2 of those, right? We have another one here. So that's going to be another 12 square inches. Then the top and bottom, we can see we've got 7 inches by 4 inches, and 7 times 4 is 28. So the top would be 28 square inches, and the bottom would also be 28 square inches. And then the front and back, we can see are 7 by 3 inches. So 7 times 3 is 21. So we have 21 square inches. So if we wanted to know the surface area of this rectangular prism, we can add these 6 areas together. So we have 12 plus 12 plus 28 plus 28 plus 21 plus 21. So we've got 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 8 is 12, plus 8 is 20, plus 1 is 21, 22. And we have 2 plus 1 is 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we get a surface area here of 122 square inches. So this would be S equals 122 square inches. Let's look now at an example for, rather than a rectangular prism, a triangular prism. So it'll still be the same thing. We can find our net. So you'll notice with the triangular prism, we'll have our side, bottom, and other side, and then the front and back. So let's look at this example here. So we can see we've got this side, which is 13 centimeters, and this side here would be 8 centimeters. We can see that here. So this side would be 13 times 8, which would be 104 centimeters squared. Our other side we can see is 5 centimeters by 8 centimeters. So that would be 40 square centimeters. Then we have the bottom, which is going to be 12 centimeters by 8 centimeters. That's going to be 96 square centimeters. And then our front and back, we've got triangles. So remember, the area for a triangle is 1/2 base times height. And we can see here that our base is going to be 12 and our height is 5. So you'll see there's this 13 centimeters listed here, but we do not need that in calculating the area for our triangle. Just 1/2 base times height. So we've got 1/2 of 12 times 5, which is 60, and 1/2 of 60 would be 30. So our front is 30 square centimeters, and the back is 30 square centimeters. So once again, we can add all of these together. 104, 40, 96, 30, and 30. And we would get surface area is 300 square centimeters. Finally, when we're looking at a cube, right, we could find the net of this cube, but we would realize pretty quickly, right, if we were looking at the net of our cube, I'll try to draw something that'll work somewhat. Right, this is very clearly not a cube, but we can imagine, right, if this actually looked like the net of a cube, we would have each of these would be identical, right? Each of these squares, if this were an actual cube, would have the same area, right? We would have length times width to find the area of each of those. And if they're all 12, so this would be 12 times 12, right? And this would be 12 times 12. So all of them would be 144 square meters. And so that leads us to the formula for the surface area of a cube, which is simply 6 times s squared, where s is your side length. So if we know 12 is my side length, 12 squared is 144, and I can multiply that by 6 because I will have 6 of those. So 144 times 6 and we would get 864 square meters is our surface area for this cube.